Morning, students. I'm here to teach you science. Let's begin with chapter 1, that is crop production and management. As we all know that living organisms require food to survive. It is very hard to imagine even a single day without food. You have already learned in the previous class that green plants can prepare their own food by the process of photosynthesis. But animals are unable to make their food. They obtain their food from plants and other animals. So, in order to produce food, man started growing plants and domesticating useful animals, giving rise to agriculture. So, in this chapter, we will study about the methods of agriculture, the branches of agriculture, and the agricultural practices. India has always been primarily an agricultural country. Even today, 70% of our population is engaged directly or indirectly in agriculture. Agriculture is derived from the two Latin words acre, which means field or land, culture, which means cultivation. Agriculture is the practice of raising plants and rearing animals for food and other useful products. In this chapter, we will study the two main branches of agriculture. These are horticulture and animal husbandry. Horticulture is derived from the two Latin words hortus, meaning garden, and culture, meaning cultivation. So, it is the science of dealing with study and growing of vegetables, fruits, and ornamental plants. The next is animal husbandry. It is the science dealing with the study of food, shelter, and health care of domestic animals like cattle, sheep, pig, camel, etc. Let's come to the next topic, that is crop season. Before we start the topic, we should know that what is crop. Same type of plants being cultivated one place on a large scale is called crop or produce, like rice, wheat, etc. In India, basically two type of cropping pattern are followed. These are Rabi crops and the Kharif crops. Rabi crop is a winter season crop and Kharif crop is a summer season crop. Rabi crops grown in the month of October, November and harvested in the month of March, April, like wheat, barley, gram, pea, mustard. While Kharif crops are grown in rainy season, as Kharif crops require large quantity of water. So they are grown in June and July and harvested in September and October, such as rice, sugarcane, groundnut, maize, etc. Our next topic is basic agricultural practices. To ensure a good crop yield, several activities are undertaken by farmers over a period of time. These are known as agricultural practices. The first step is the preparation of soil. Next is selection and sowing of seed, irrigation, weeding, crop protection, harvesting, storage is the last but very important step. For doing all these tasks, we need implements. The machines and tools used for agricultural practices are known as agricultural implements, like plow, hoe, cultivator, harvester, seed drill, sickle, thresher, etc. Let's get back to the topic. The first step is the preparation of soil. Before crops are planted, the soil must be prepared. And preparation is done by turning and loosening the soil by plowing or tilling. It helps the soil to in number of ways, like it provide aeration to the soil, easy penetration of the roots, and help in growth of earthworm and microbes. Do you know earthworms are called farmer's friend? Because these organisms add humus to the soil, thus increase the fertility of the soil. For this reason, they are called farmer's friend. After this, leveling is done to make the surface of the soil uniform with the help of wooden or iron leveler. After leveling, manuring is done, which means adding manure and fertilizer to the soil in the form of nutrients for the healthy growth of the plant. There are few advantages of using manure over fertilizers. Manure enhances the water holding capacity of the soil. It makes the soil porous for easy exchange of gases. It makes the soil rich in humus and increases the number of friendly microbes. It improves the soil texture as well as its water retaining capacity. Now let's discuss some disadvantage of using fertilizers like NPK, CAN, urea, potash. NPK stands for nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium, and CAN stands for calcium and nitrogen. Excessive use of fertilizers makes soil less fertile and makes the soil either too acidic or too alkaline. Fertilizers also cause water pollution. So, we should try to use less fertilizers and more manures. After preparing the soil, the next step is sowing of seeds. But before sowing, a farmer should select good quality seed to ensure maximum grain production and to avoid wastage. While sowing seed, few points should be kept in our mind, like seeds should be sown at a right distance from each other and at right depth. Otherwise, they will not get sufficient air, water, nutrient and sunlight. We have three methods of sowing of seeds. The first is the broadcasting. In this method, scattering of seed is done by hand or by using mechanical broadcaster. The second method is by using seed drills for uniform distribution, and it also saves time and labor. The third is the transplantation. This method is used for those plants which cannot be sown directly into the field, like rice crop. These seeds are first grown in the nursery till the seedling stage and then transplanted into the main field. Now the next step is irrigation. Irrigation means supply of water. Water is very essential for proper growth and development of plant. Water is also needed for seed germination. Water protects the crop from frost and hot air current. Some of the crops require more water, like paddy crops, whereas others require less water. So time and frequency of irrigation varies from crop to crop, soil to soil, and season to season. There are two methods of irrigation, traditional method and the modern method. Traditional method includes pulley system, chain pump, dhekli, it is also called Persian wheel, and rahat. And the modern methods are sprinkler system, drip irrigation system, furrow irrigation and basin irrigation. These days modern methods are widely in use due to their economical value. Like drip irrigation is an economical method for irrigation as water drips drop by drop at the position of plant roots. Water is not wasted at all. It is therefore of great advantage in the region of poor water availability. The next step is weeding. Weeds are the undesirable plants that grows along with the main crop, like amaranthus, chenopodium, etc. And the removal of weeds is called weeding. It can be done by tilling, manually, or by using chemicals like 2,4-D, MCPA, etc. Now the next step is crop protection. To ensure a good yield, crops should be protected from stray animals, birds, and pests. It can be done by fencing, by scarecrow, by using disease-resistant seeds, by using pesticides like BHC. BHC is benzene hexachloride. Now the next step is harvesting. Harvesting means cutting of crops after maturation. It is done by sickle, harvester, then threshing and winnowing is done to separate the grain from the straw. The last step is the storage. It is the most important step because once the grains have been harvested, they have to be stored in a proper manner so that they are available throughout the year. While storing grains, we should keep few points in our mind, like storage area should be dry, free from moisture, as moisture promotes microbial growth. Storage area should be free from rodents and insects. Before storing seeds, we should keep some dried neem leaves, garlic or turmeric pieces or specific chemical in the storage area. Large-scale storage can be done in silos and granaries. So let's come to the next topic, that is crop rotation. It is the practice of growing two or more dissimilar crops on the same field alternately. When we keep on growing the same crop over and over again, the land becomes deprived of nutrients. Crop rotation is done to replenish the nutrients. Okay, let's take an example. Corn. Corn is a heavy nitrogen using plant, and soybean is a heavy nitrogen depositing plant. Therefore, crop rotation between these two crops can help to maintain the balance of nutrient in the soil. Okay students, can you tell me what is nitrogen fixation? You have already learned this topic in your previous class. As it is very important topic and related to this chapter, so I am explaining it again. Listen it very carefully. Plants do not get their nitrogen directly from the air. Plants get the nitrogen from the soil in the form of compounds such as ammonia, nitrate, etc. Leguminous plants like pea pulses contain nitrogen-fixing bacteria in the root nodules. These bacteria converts the atmospheric nitrogen into compound and fixes it into the soil. So, the process by which nitrogen is taken from its stable gas form in air and changes into other nitrogen compound like ammonia, nitrates and nitrogen dioxide is called nitrogen fixation. Let's talk about few revolutions. The White Revolution and the Green Revolution. White Revolution is also known as Operation Flood. It was launched by National Dairy Development Board to increase the milk production in India. Dr. V. Kurian, also known by the name Amul Man, is the father of White Revolution. The next is the Green Revolution. It refers to the dramatic increase in the agricultural productivity due to the use of improved variety of seeds. The father of Green Revolution is Norman Borlaug, and Dr. M.S. Swaminathan is called the father of Indian Green Revolution. Now let's do something interesting. Look, I have two beakers containing water. Now I am putting some seeds in both the beaker. Leave them untouched for some time and then observe. Let's observe. Few seeds are floating on the surface while others settle at the bottom. Let's conclude. The seeds which are floating on the surface are unhealthy seeds, while the seeds which settled at the bottom are healthy seeds. So we perform this activity to separate unhealthy seeds and healthy seeds. So do this activity at home and collect few samples of healthy and unhealthy seeds like this. I hope you all have understood the concept well. That's all for today. Thank you and have a nice day.